Laura, check the waiting room.
I did.
Just a reminder, the Grand Fondo bike race, the annual bike race is being held on May 19th. I was notified today that there'll be a brief closure of Palisade Avenue on Monday, the 13th, for westbound traffic only. They don't expect it to be a full day of work, but we'll be closed for a few hours on Monday, so be prepared for that. A couple community events. We hosted the kindergarten class on April 11th. If you checked out our Facebook page, you saw it. It was a really nice event. Kids loved it. We also, as the mayor mentioned, we hosted the Jeju Island Police. They were in the States. They visited Fort Lee. They visited Norwood. They visited us. They visited several agencies around the area to learn about American policing, and it was a really nice visit. We saw that on our Facebook page. I do have to thank Officer Dave Chu, who took time out of his day to be here and assist with some translation. So thank you to my entire staff who helped out with this. And finally, another season of the Woody Clinic baseball clinic. It wrapped up this past Saturday, the 4th. Another great success for the police department. Kids loved it, and we're looking forward already to the 2025 baseball season. And that's all I have.
Mayor, can I ask the chief, could I ask you something? We have the resolution on 121 for the, on the agenda. Yeah, if you could just give like a brief thing on that.
We were made aware of a trip that the NYPD is going to be making to the Dominican Republic to donate, retired police equipment, specifically some bulletproof vests, and that's in honor of Detective Wilbert Mora of the NYPD, who was murdered a year or two ago while on duty. So we happened to have last year purchased some new ballistic plates for our officers, brand new. Our old plates were approaching 10 or 15 years old. They were getting a little long in the tooth. So I upgraded the equipment, bought brand new. I have no use for the old equipment. It's just being stored right now. So we thought this was a good opportunity to donate that equipment to police officials elsewhere that don't have access to the type of equipment that we have in America. So that's the gist of, and this is the flyer. And like I said, it's in honor of Wilbert Moore of NYPD, who was murdered. That's the spirit of that resolution.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
very quickly, first of all, I think it's really cool to trade information with police departments from different parts of the world. I think we should do more of that in different areas in government, and I know that I think our borough attorney spent some time in Canada, if I'm not mistaken, and it's really refreshing, and it's almost, you see a sameness in a different country. So I think it's really cool, and it's great that you have an officer that was assisting in the translation. I think it's also great that the equipment is having a second life in the Dominican Republic. And I did notice one, and it's great that we've ordered the sign, the flashing sign. And I've been noticing more and more of what they do in other towns. And I did notice, and it looks like it's very inexpensive, on key stop signs, they'll put a red stripe up the,
We've already discussed that.
you got it, okay, great, fantastic, okay. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I'm glad that I don't have to say any more. And congratulations.
Thank you. Anything else?
Okay, thank you.
Evening, everyone. PSEG substation work down by DPW, they're actually making some pretty good headway with the excavation. Things will be installed, and we can knock that building soon. We're making progress there. The gas main work continues, mostly the mains are in, lateral will be installed. They're talking about another 3 to 5 weeks of that, so early summer, we should finish some of the laterals. Also, we're working with PSCG regarding the quantities of the restoration of the pavement. Okay, so the pavement program this year is gonna be a little more complex than it has in the past. We have a couple things going on. We have a co-op, which we always use, and we're gonna use that for the northern, called the northern section. The whole section of being considered is Palisade Avenue to Lincoln. Okay, so the northern section is gonna be Fairview and Lincoln, parallel to, and then Ellington, Cambridge, Brookshire, and everything in between it. That's gonna be our co-op. The co-op went off the bid and that came in at just a little over $600,000, very comparable for the amount of streets and the work there. The quantities from Floyd Street will be put into the quantities of PSCG, as it is their work. Floyd Street will be done through our TOT grant. We have the engineers handling that. And over that, like, that's Palisade going north, I think, to Pershing, is it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
To where? Pershing, Palisade, Pershing. So then, I'm working with PSCG, they're finalizing their quantities, and we'll go to the south and central sections of from Palisade to Perry. So we have that finalized by next month, and really have a game plan as far as paving restoration. Flashing stop sign has been ordered. I anticipate that arriving Barber early next week and we can install that right away. Promise. On April 29th, we did have a small situation. We had a small sinkhole open up on the industrial side of Hollywood Avenue, the highway. It was a collapsed chamber, wall and a cash chamber below the ground. Emergency contractor was called in to repair. The street was open the next day.
Sanitary sewer or?
Storm, yeah. Hudson County Motors, as I said, Hudson County Motors has delivered our 2024 Western Star garbage truck. Thank you all for your help in getting us the equipment we need. Special thank you to Councilman Kim, who was very instrumental in helping us, getting everything together for that. So that was delivered last Tuesday, and we're looking forward to seeing it this summer in the streets. Our EPA program regarding stormwater and employee training is being put in place. Some of the classes in the education starts with generally introduction to stormwater, education and outreach, stormwater maintenance, post-construction management, proper disposal, things like that that we have to watch while we're working and moving about town. So that'll be department-wide, every employee will be part of that. That's to be scheduled throughout the course of the year and then move forward. Other than that, that's really mostly all I have here. That's a good point, free Mother's Day to all moms.
Mark, you heard me on Floyd Street, what's going on, is that when they do the roads, they do curb?
You're gonna do spot repair, yeah.
Spot repair.
Sorry, yeah.
That include in front of the park where PSCNG destroyed the curb? Where they took all the equipment off the street and drove it up on the curb
Yeah.
and flattened out the curb?
Oh, the benches are?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the quantities are, well, we measure them.
I'm sorry, what?
We have to measure those quantities, that's what we're doing now. That's being financed through DOT.
DOT, that shouldn't go against our grant. That's something that's something that PSCNG should pay for.
Right, yeah.
I saw on the agenda Floyd Street, Mateo, I think. So is that all spec'd out and
From Palisades all the way up.
all the way up? So there's no changes that can be made at this point or modifications to that or?
No, so this is the approval for them, the resolution for them to move forward with the design.
Oh, with the design,
Right,
okay.
with the design, and then after that, the management of the construction and the DOT grant and all of that stuff.
Okay, so it is the management of the design, so there can be some input into the design. Great, fantastic. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. Neville.
Mark, can you tell us, I heard there was an incident at DPW with an employee, you don't have to mention names, but can you fill us in on what the situation was and what happened? Everybody looks like no one seems to know about it, or some of you do, and you're just making like you don't know about it. But I heard it, and I'd like to know what actually took place and what the outcome was.
We had an employee that was feeling a little under the weather last Wednesday while recycling. The foreman went out to the truck to check on him, make sure he was okay, and deemed that he needed medical attention, so we called the police and the EMS and they transported him to the hospital. He was released later that night and was back to work.
Was it something that happened from like fumes from the truck?
No, it was not work related.
Wasn't work related?
Oh, okay.
That's what I was really more worried about, whether it was work related or not. Because what I heard is that he was on the back of the truck.
Was?
And I was thinking that he was on the back of the truck picking up stuff that, as you know, people put things in their garbage,
Right.
put it in recycling. could have been something that was an aerosol
Right,
that he
aerosol.
inhaled, either he or she, who I don't know who it was, but just
Yeah,
wondering.
non-material affiliate, right, just
So it's just really just him or her personally not feeling
Feeling
well,
well, right.
and ambulance is
Clear
called.
by doctor.
Back to work the
Right.
next day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
No problem.
See
Okay, now fire department gonna do that? Okay. Could you come to front?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In August, we had 36 calls for service, among them including several serious CO incidents. You may think that with warmer weather, carbon monoxide is no longer a problem, but it is. Most of it was attributed to faulty appliances and lack of maintenance. So as a reminder to all of you, carbon monoxide is an odorless, tasteless gas. The only way to effectively detect it is having working carbon monoxide alarms inside your house and businesses. So we encourage all residents, and if there's any resident that would have a question, they can reach out to either the fire department or fire official, and they can provide guidance on that. So fortunately, it happened during, it was a commercial building that it wasn't busy, otherwise it could have been an unpleasant incident. Otherwise, we've had a car fire, which are always entertaining, and we've done several drills as well. We expect delivery of our utility truck from Virginia at the first week of June. So we're excited to work on that and put that in service. That was part of a FEMA grant that Jerry had worked on last year, as well as Chris Ratz, that got us that extra money. Which also leads into our next issue. You know, we're up against a serious issue with regards to capital expenditures on the fire department, specifically our ladder truck, as well as turnout gear for our members. I'll start with the easy one. Turnout gear are costly items because turnout gear in and of itself is an expensive, sophisticated piece of protective equipment that our members rely on. Currently, we have members that are using turnout gear that's either exceeded its age limit or is just about approaching the age limit. On average, these turnout gear combinations, pants, jackets, helmets, boots, can run anywhere from $5,000 to $7,500 per person. So that is an upcoming concern that, you know, hopefully through capital expenditure. I know that also Jerry has worked with us on the grant process and the onboarding of the grant writer. Unfortunately, the biggest challenge with that is the demographic of Bangor Cliffs makes it very challenging to secure federal and state grants, but we'll try it anyway. With regards to the ladder truck, two things is that the cost is only going up and the time frame for delivery is only increasing. A ladder truck ordered today would likely be able to be delivered and put into service by 2029 or 2030 at the latest. We're up to 5 years of wait times for that. This is really becoming an urgent matter as the current equipment that we have is at its end of life, end of its useful life, while we take care of it, and it's a beautiful piece of equipment. It does not meet the modern safety requirements and standards, as well as the ongoing operating and maintenance costs of it will become impractical to keep that unit in service just from a strictly operational perspective, not only financially, but in terms of keeping the unit available for use. So Jerry, as well as Chris Ratz, in coordination with the fire chief, had worked on, you know, a capital plan for that. I know we've met with many, if not all of the council regarding these issues, and we would encourage the council to at least take some action on this to move forward. We are all volunteers. The chief right now is at a softball game for baseball game, I don't want to get in trouble. Baseball game with two of his kids, and the third one is just tagging along. We work all day with our regular real paying jobs, and then, whenever the siren or the pager goes off, we interrupt whatever we're doing, whether it's a holiday celebration, a birthday, or even, getting some well-deserved sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning. And we would really appreciate the town just showing us that respect and getting us the equipment that we need, that we are approaching, that we desperately need. Just moving on, we have a new junior member that hopefully will be joining us, as well as we have a outstanding firefighter who's going to be onboarded as a regular firefighter who's in fire school right now, Councilman Liang, I think you might know who that is. He's doing excellent in the academy. I got his report card, they sent it out, so you'll be happy to know that Michael is doing a fantastic job, and we hopefully look to see him fully graduated by the end of the year. And the last thing is Memorial Day services. We'll coordinate with Jerry and Laura regarding notification. I believe that's scheduled for Monday, same time, 9 or 9:30.
We're meeting next week, Tuesday.
So, and that is available.
Excuse me, just a question for you.
Yes.
Regarding the turnout gears,
Yes.
if that can be shareable or you need it for each one individual?
Each turnout gear is custom designed
For
for
the person?
the person. They are specialized pieces of protective equipment. They're measured for the person and designed for the person.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time and happy.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, Jerry? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. I only have a few items in my report. This is Public Service Recognition Week. We have been recognizing and celebrating public servants during this week since 1985, and I want to publicly recognize our entire staff of public servants, our dedicated volunteers, and many people in our community who participate in service as well. As all of you know, the budget was submitted to the state, and we're hoping to get it back soon. If you have any questions, Shuweb will be here until we go into closed session. Regarding our EPA administrative consent order, we've submitted our items, the deadlines for March, April, and May. We are currently working on the deadlines for June, which is the DPW training of the staff, which Mr. Neville has taken upon himself to do. So we meet almost once a week with the engineer and with the public works superintendent. And last year, the borough received a grant for $25,000, and we're using that grant now to pay for the engineer's time, which is approximately estimated to be about $20,000 to get through this consent order. Oh, sorry about that. Cell tower leases, we've been in contact with 2 carriers on our tower that lease space. I started negotiating with them, and we'll meet with the technology committee to discuss a few open items. But I've spoken to our borough attorney about diving into the contracts and reviewing those to make sure the borough continues to be protected. And as the assistant chief of the fire department mentioned, Memorial Day ceremony will be May 27, 2024 at 11 a.m. And I will be bringing the coffee and donuts for after the ceremony. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any question? Okay. Then I'm gonna to move on closed session first. Okay. You wanna ask to Jerry?
I just wanna point something out, I know I got a lot of purchase orders today, and I noticed that for some reason, our borough administrator and our CFO on every single one for the very months, but I don't know, why are we not dating these? Why do we not date? I mean, there's a place for a date,
There's a date up on top.
Well, that's not the date of your signature.
Yeah, I'm signing it and I'm using that date up on top.
So you're saying every one of these signatures on both of you?
I
has that
turn
date
it
on
over the
top?
same day, turn it over the same
Is
day.
that for you too, Mr.
But the purchase orders are dated the date they are printed. The signature may not necessarily be the same date, but I'll start getting them going
Is
forward.
it at all possible, since there's clearly a place for a signature and a date, that we just add the date that we sign it? I mean,
I'll start dating it.
seems kind of, it seems like, I'm just not used to, when you sign something, usually there's a place for a date that you put a date, so I would just like to request that you just put a date so that we know what the dates are that it's signed. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
may I just make a suggestion that we vote on the, let's see, on the 24-126 and 24-127, awarding the contracts to proceed on the Parks project?
Okay. So,
Is that a motion?
I make a motion to change the order and also then to vote on these two park project initiatives, awarding of the contracts.
okay, any second?
Do I have a point of order on this tonight? Just procedurally, since this is on the consent agenda, don't we have to make a motion to then separate every single thing on the consent agenda?
Sure.
Does the rules say that the consent agenda is either all
Okay.
voted on at one time, or if one member of the governing body makes a suggestion to remove them, to vote on them individually? So,
Okay,
procedure, I don't have a problem. with
Thank you, I'll make a,
vote, but-
I'll make a motion to remove them from the consent agenda to vote on them separately.
A second. For the 2006,
Yes.
2007.
Yeah.
The motion right now, just to make it easy, the first motion is just to vote on the consent agenda items separately.
Separately,
So
correct.
that's the first motion, that's it, right now.
Okay,
There was a motion
anybody
and a second.
second?
We have second already.
Second already? Okay. Okay, roll call please.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Is this just to separate?
Just to separate.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes,
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Now the next motion.
I'd like to make a motion.
Would be to amend the order of the agenda for purpose of considering 126 and 127. I got the right, hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, 126, 127 now.
so what the
Just-
borough
just
attorney
consider.
just said,
Right.
and I
make
make
it
that motion.
Number second.
Okay.
Okay.
This is just to consider it now, this is not on the merits.
Okay.
So motion is second, we're good.
Okay, roll call
Second,
please.
Mr. Liang?
Yeah.
Member Kim?
Yes.
It's for the part, yeah.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes,
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
now a motion.
David, I would just to make things easy.
Yes.
I would suggest that you do one at a time in case there's a differences of opinion,
Got
so
it.
we don't have to then separate motions later.
Understood. I make a motion to move 24-126.
Okay,
Second, do I have a second?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you vote for 126?
no, you will.
No,
Oh.
no.
David's running right now.
No, all we've done is voted to consider them. David is now making a motion on approving 126.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a
So,
motion by
motion-
David, a second by, so.
A motion to approve or?
Yes, motion to approve 126. Now there would be discussion on 126.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, can I be recognized, please?
You mean the, what, 126?
After the second, and it goes to
Yeah,
discussion.
I recognize, it. Okay, yes.
I just wanted to be recognized for
Yeah.
discussion. So, on.
You want a discussion?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
want?
we want
Okay,
discussion.
okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Whitfield, I'd just like to know, because looking through the plan, I don't see, and I know there was a big stink about how where the last administrator and the last governing body, everybody wanted to see a plan for the playground. And we've gone out to bid, and there was a big issue about the color scheme, and I haven't seen anything on the playground, and as a matter of fact, what I see for the what I see for Whitfield is no playground equipment at all. I mean, unless I'm looking through the bids wrong, and I'd like to know what the amount that's in, I know I'm gonna be told that there is ample money in the bond to cover it, supposedly, but what equipment are we getting?
Mr.
David, this was your baby as well, then.
Mr.
What was the color of what's the color, what's the
Mr.
equipment? Who
Mr.
are we
Mensch,
getting it from? How much
there-
did it cost?
Okay, Mr. Mensch, in order to get clarification, there's a member of the audience who heads up the park committee. Can she can she speak, or?
You guys are gonna vote on it, and I'd like to know what information you have. I'm glad to hear from Ms. Sabari.
Okay,
But the
before,
issue was raised last year by the councilman about how we didn't have the color scheme, the equipment, who it's being purchased by, how much it's gonna cost. How are you moving forward with this with none of that information?
I have-
How are you gonna you do
I have all the
share with us.
information.
How come it hasn't been shared with us if you have that information?
It has been shared,
It ha-
yes.
It has
It
been
has been
shared.
shared. I would like to recognize Mrs. Sabari.
But she can be I wanna know from you, who has it been shared with, because it surely hasn't been shared.
okay,
with me.
why not, just please.
How about-
Okay, Ms. Sabario, could you come to the front and would you explain one more time? Yes,
One more time.
please,
How about
yeah.
anytime?
Anytime?
Anytime. Have you got it? Have you seen
First of
copies
all,
of it?
Not copy,
I
but
was
I
told-
Not
have.
comment.
Ms. Sabari.
Emails.
Every
You don't
council
find
member-
emails either.
Okay,
I told
go
that
ahead.
every council member here today got a breakdown of the project as a whole, not only awarding the contract. This resolution is just to award the contract, right? To Lantec on Liberty Field and Gowan on Veterans Park. You should have received a breakdown that included the playground equipment, the accessories, garbage cans, benches, anything that the borough was
Yes, I
paying.
sent that earlier
You
today.
did. You sent it earlier today?
Yeah.
Oh, so Mayor, then my question would be is, today, I work all day today. You made a statement that you were not going to permit.
okay,
Let me finish, please.
Yeah, okay,
Let me
please.
finish, please. Let me finish.
Okay, this
please.
procedure-wise,
Let me finish, please.
everybody not perfect.
Let me, I'm not saying
Okay,
it's
go
perfect,
ahead. Okay, go
But
ahead.
this is now the third
Okay.
meeting in a row.
Yeah, but I told you.
Can I please finish?
Okay,
Can I please finish? It's like the fourth meeting in a row, since one, you said to us that if we don't have all the information by the Friday before the meeting, it would not be brought before us. We were just told it was given to us today. Also, and while we're talking about it, Councilman Kim made a motion a couple months ago about every resolution is going to be identified by who's introducing it. It's not on there either. And I don't understand why that is. So once again, unfortunately, if it was sent today, maybe I didn't see it because I come right here from work. And I'm not in the office always at my computer. But we never got it until maybe we got it today. But go ahead.
I was hoping to
I
speak
was
on
hoping
this
to, yeah.
before we went to vote.
Well,
Because, I'm very excited that this bid came in without a few incidentals, under just about $1 million below the projected budget by $6.5 million.
Right.
Okay, we have a few things that we still need pricing for, which are not big items, except for the security, which I've spoken to the chief. We have gotten a budget of $75,000, it might be a little bit more than that, but I think, worst case scenario, we're $700,000 below our budget. So I'm very excited that, and that includes everything. Because the turf is being bought by the borough in order to save money.
Okay,
So,
no, it's
the
just not
turf is
everything's
being bought by the borough, the playground equipment is being bought by the borough, the park benches, the garbage cans, the tables, anything that we could purchase direct so we wouldn't have to pay a markup to the contractor. So I think that helped in keeping the prices down. As far as the playground equipment, at the last meeting that I attended, which was I believe 2 meetings ago, I handed out, probably for the third time, actually a council member said to me, enough already, how many of these photos are you gonna give me? But I gave you the final drawings for both parks with coloring. I did do that. I've been working very hard to get all of this finalized. So I did give that out to everybody. Personally, I left it in front of all of your seats. So, that information was out there. I'm sorry if you didn't get the complete breakout that included the playgrounds and stuff, because you should have, because like I said, I'm very proud that we were able to come in under budget.
Proud of?
But we just opened bids last Thursday. We had, we had to go through some, discrepancies with one of the contractors and Tech, and that was taken care of. And, should you have gotten it before today? I'm sorry, I actually completed it today and made sure that you had the total amount. We are under the ordinance amount that everybody approved for us to do the playgrounds. And I really hope that everybody will vote yes to move forward on that.
Mr. Barr, you know, as Sam said in one of these seats before, to receive about this much information that I've been harping on for months, the day of the meeting, is unacceptable. And you know that, okay? And you don't have to comment, because I know you're gonna say you don't wanna be political. But this
No,
is a
honestly,
bunch of
all I wanna
forced
do
manure,
is
this
get the park
gets
passed.
stuff like this.
I wanna get the park done.
And
I
90
wanna get
minutes
involved
before
in
the
the
meeting,
other stuff.
it's ridiculous.
She wants to do the park.
We all wanna do the part.
Okay,
What I wanna do is
thank
get
you,
information
okay.
so I can absorb it.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
That's what I
Please.
want. I don't want
Okay.
90
So
minutes
where are we?
before, 19 resolutions
No.
that weren't
This is
there.
discussion, you have to take a vote then. Anyone else, or can we take the vote?
Anyone else to discuss about this matter?
Call the question?
Oh, yeah.
You still have a question?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna say,
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Big Yats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to move 24-127.
Second.
I'm sorry, which one?
Okay, I need second, you need second. Any discussion?
I would
127?
recognize first.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I would just
anytime.
like to say, Mr. Bari, thank you to you for all the hard work that you put in on this. And I, as a, well, you can relay my thanks to the whole committee, but I see that you're one that I'm identifying as being here. So I would just like to express my personal gratitude to the committee for getting this done and to where it's at today. I don't hold you responsible for our lack of communication, but it is a very good accomplishment. You know as well as I think everybody here will acknowledge that all of us have wanted to get this done sooner than later. So I just want to say thank you very much for all that you've done and your committee has done.
And I'd like to agree with Councilman Luciano 100% on that. I think we can all agree on, well said. So I'd like to move 24-127. Did we all? Oh, it's already moved? Okay, good. All right, let's,
Okay, you good? All right. Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
yes.
Member Big Yats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, I already mentioned that our professional waiting here. We're gonna go to the closed session. I need a motion.
So moved.
Anybody second? Okay. How long will it take? About 45 minutes or 30 minutes?
Wish.
About 2 hours.
How many minutes?
How many professionals are going into closed session? Mr. Mensch?
3, as far as I know, Mr. Yallen, Mr. Mistretta, and myself. So as far as I know, unless there's anybody else here that I'm missing as
Maybe
professional.
at least 45 minutes
It'd be
or 1 hour?
it'd be for litigation,
45 minutes each times 3,
litigation and personnel. So,
35 minutes, so.
Okay, we're gonna come back about 45 minutes later. We will try our best.
45 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, listen, Glenn,
Say so.
Glenn, we just had 2 votes everyone agreed on. I'm ready to cancel the meeting right. We should close the meeting right now, call it quits.
Only 10 years.
Well, we're good. I'll make a motion to adjourn. If I motion to adjourn, I'll gladly do that.
We're starting off on a good note. Let's keep a good time rolling.
So moved.
Closed session, okay, any second?
Second,
Okay, next item is now,
All in favor?
all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
What are we
Let's-
lying about?
All coming out of closed session.
Motion to adjourn.
Rivka's gonna give you a second on that.
Okay, number 6, okay, public hearing about 2024 municipal budget. I need a motion to,
Motion,
yes, I need second.
You can share mine.
Okay. Do I need to ask the public to
Yeah,
comment?
motion to open to the public.
Yeah, okay, motion to open to the public. and
Motion.
Yeah, we already did it.
Just to be clear, right now, just for purposes of the record, for lack of a better term, right now, this is the opening to the public for purposes of discussion on the municipal budget only.
Only, okay.
I know it's kind of procedural, but right now, it's the budget opening. So if any
Okay,
member of the
budget.
public wants to speak on the budget,
Yeah.
now is the time.
Anyone come out and no one seen, and anybody? Okay. No, right?
Nothing online, I don't see
Okay,
anybody.
no one seen and no one hearing, and I'm gonna close
Some
it.
people at the last meeting, they don't know how to technically raise their hand on, okay, so we're just gonna say, too bad, okay, too bad. If you have any comments.
And yeah, at this moment, we cannot see anybody here.
No, but you got people,
Or if
Right
they
here?
don't know how to do it, well, that's fine, okay.
How we can do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, Glenn, unfortunately, I understand what you're saying, but unfortunately, if people want to comment but don't know how to do it electronically, then they really need to come in person.
I think we shouldn't have. the-
I mean, I'm with you. I would
I think it's the
not do
most
Zoom.
ridiculous thing that we can do.
But either way, the bottom line is that, you know, they don't know how to work Zoom and they want to
They want
comment.
majority, they can make the decision what they want to do.
Okay,
Somebody's wanna-
I wanna close,
Yeah, motion to close
okay,
public
motion
on the
to
budget.
close public portion,
second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, what is the, okay, I don't wanna miss about the appointment of liaison for the Department of Public Works. Councilwoman, Rebecca Bigatz, wanted to, resign this position, so I'm going to appoint Mr. Liang Ji this position. I want to just announce it.
I
Any,
apologize, but I'm not understanding what you're
and
saying.
then the Rebecca gonna to Public Works. You and
you resigned that position.
yes,
And
yeah,
Liang
Liang,
tried to
yes,
take your
take his our position.
Okay, okay.
We need any
No,
approval?
no, it's
No.
just liaison appointment.
Wait.
Were you the chair of the?
This is a committee appointment that has to be voted on, but it's not one of like the council, this is something, and it's just procedural,
Right.
but it's not, it has to be voted
Sorry,
on.
I'm sorry, this is,
Member change just,
No, it's just.
Is Mr. Liang on, a member of it yet?
no,
So then it
he
has to be voted on.
replaced,
Is replacing me, the mayor
You're resigning your position, he's not a member of the committee, just like the committees at the beginning of the year procedurally, and I apologize for raising my voice, but just like any other council committee, it's a committee of the council. So we
Yeah.
have to vote on.
yeah, he's right, I'm sorry, misunderstood. If it's a council committee that, you know,
I know,
yeah,
but it's
I know,
not right.
I agree, guys, we get it, I agree.
okay, then I need a motion, right? To change this committee.
Motion to accept. the
Okay.
Motion
nomination.
to accept Mrs. Begets
Resignation
resignation
and
and
appointment
Miss,
of Mr. Liang
and
to
Miss.
Yeah.
So moved.
Come on, man.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Do it right.
Okay,
Aye.
okay. All in favor? Okay.
Wanna press 2405? No, Mayor,
Okay, now,
2405.
I think,
what is the name?
This one, ordinance providing for,
No, we
yeah,
have public comment.
public.
Hold on,
Wait, what about all the others?
hold on, everybody, hold on.
Make a
Guys,
motion to adjourn, no
guys,
second.
guys,
You don't have to do anything.
hold on, we got it, Mayor's got it.
No, we
Yeah.
have to
To
make
vote
the
for,
vote.
No.
RTU,
No, 7.
budget,
we have to.
There's option,
Yeah.
there's a hearing, we had the
Yes.
hearing, but there was no comment about how we're continuing, because with the approval, if there's people here that wanna hear us about voting on, and the reason why we're not voting on it, please.
Yes, so it is listed on the agenda, the final action on the budget will be on June 12th. It was public hearing is noticed for tonight. We are still waiting for the approval from the state before we can take final action. So that's what we're waiting on. So
So now
that's
you
it.
could go home.
Now there would be
Yeah,
public.
just public portion, right?
Correct.
I need a motion to
So
open
moved,
public
Mr.
comment.
Mayor.
Okay. Okay, I need
Second.
second. Or, okay, anyone can see here or? Okay, open to the public.
Oh, Chris came on.
Yes, I admitted him.
Can I be recognized as a member of the public, please?
You are?
Thank
Can
you,
I
Carol.
be recognized as a member of the public, please?
Okay, go ahead. Your name and address,
My name is
please.
Glenn Luciano, I live in Englewood Cliffs.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to read something into the record, this was to the appellate division, with regard to, which highly upsets me as a resident, with regard to Mayor Kranjak, former Mayor Kranjak, who has lied repeatedly to the court, and, former councilman, you can make your faces all you want there, councilwoman, but, I'm offended, the position that we have taken to support, people that have, misled and lied to the court, and that now we're funding and supporting their position of that, it seems as though this council majority is supporting the ability for us to lie to the court and have no repercussions. So, dear Judge of the Appellate Division, this firm is statutory municipal attorney for the Borough of Englewood Cliffs, currently pending before the court is a motion filed by former Mayor Mario Kranjak asking the court to grant him leave to appeal. Yesterday, Irene Asbury, Esquire, Special Counsel for the Borough, filed an opposition to that motion. However, the position set forth in this brief, as well as the prior opposition filed on April 15th, does not represent the position of the borough. Very disappointing. Instead, the borough takes no position on the issue of whether Mayor Kranjak has standing to appeal or whether leave to appeal should be granted. If the court grants former Mayor Kranjak's motion for leave to appeal, the borough reserves its right to submit briefings on the merits of the appeal itself to the extent it determines it necessary to do so. A formal motion to remove the May 6, 2024 opposition and the prior April 15, 24 opposition will be filed within the next day. Once again, I think that our actions in support of, it just makes me feel that, what do we have? I understand what our borough attorney explained to us in closed session and the legal, implications of it and trying to protect the borough, but it seems to me personally that we're doing more to protect other people than we are the borough. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No one?
I don't see anyone online.
Okay, no one is seeing and hearing. Can I have a motion to close the public comment?
Motion,
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Okay. And the next item is, I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes. I need a motion.
I make a
We're
motion.
gonna take them individually, so February 12th, well, if I may, just on February, just some corrections, February 21st,
Oh,
if you can, please.
The minutes.
1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth page. There it says,
Fifth page, just a
fifth
second.
page, that I have anyway, if you did, you know how you printed it with mine, fifth page, which is motion made by member Luciano, seconded by member Simon to terminate Mr. Dasty. It says here, member Kim, Luciano and Kim
Oh, I'm sorry.
voted aye. So I just wanted to be clarified that it wasn't, we might have, Councilman Kim might have voted twice, but I don't think that's where the vote went. I
Doesn't,
believe
okay.
it was Kim,
What page,
Luciano and
which
Simon.
meeting is that?
This is,
Five. Page
5/21, this is 5/21. February
21,
21st.
okay.
I just wanted to, make sure that was corrected.
Sure.
And then on February 12th, special meeting, second page. I know we had discussed this before, and I have not been able to find the video for some reason. But, there was a motion made by Luciano to make the same payment to Mr. Warren as Cole Shot. The motion was seconded by Councilman Simon. I want that to reflect that my comments that I recall, and if it wasn't, if I misspoke, was that if we were gonna pay Cole Shots that
Okay,
amount of
Mr.
money,
Wunsch.
that all of our attorneys should be paid the same.
Oh, okay, okay.
It wasn't just,
Just
and I
Al.
even made a comment to you, Mr. Munch,
I remember that
so
comment.
I know you remember it, I mean, it wasn't just this, I know everybody
You're right.
wants to paint the picture that, you know, that Mr. Wunsch, where my specific comments were, if we're going to pay one attorney this amount, we should pay all of our attorneys this amount. And I don't mean it towards you, Ms. Portress, but I don't, want that because I know the dialogue that has been coming from the majority. And, if I may, just quickly, while we're not voting on anything, just on those corrections, just so everybody's aware, it happens to be Borough Clerk Week, which no one's acknowledged. And I'd like to say thank you, Ms. Portress, for the wonderful job you do, because you
Thank
do tolerate, you do have to deal with me and a lot of other
And a lot of
extraneous things that pull you in many different directions. I appreciate what you do, and I just wanted that to be acknowledged.
Thank you,
So thank you.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any opinion on it?
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from
12
February.
to,
You wanna do them all together?
yeah, all together, yes.
With the amendments.
Make a motion, it's.
To accept the minutes.
Minutes from the February 12th regular meeting, February 21st regular meeting, and February 21st closed session with,
the
based on the
amendments.
corrections that I have articulated.
Second.
That's my
Who,
motion.
who is the second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, right? Okay, all in favor.
Aye.
Okay, number 9, council review and discussion, solid waste cooperative program. Would you explain?
Mayor, we can push that off into the next month.
Next month? Okay.
What are we
What was that
pushing
one? I'm
off?
sorry.
The solid waste cooperative program where the county fixed the price that they're asking us if we wanna join. We can talk about that in June.
But can we not, I thought that there was a caveat in there that it needed to be done by a certain date.
Right, so I'll contact them and then let them know that we're gonna discuss it in June. Hopefully they'll let us in. Right now, we don't use the county cooperative.
Right, but we
We-
always have the option, I think we, personally, I don't think we should put that off. I think they're giving us, BCUA is giving us, and I believe it's the county named BCUA, is giving us an ultimatum that says, and I don't know what, I haven't had the time to research this, but I don't know what the tonnage we pay now. We have the ability to direct our scavenger, for lack of a better term, our waste collection service provider. We have the opportunity to direct them, and I believe it goes back to the 90s, to take our solid waste to where we direct them as long as it's within 25 miles. So I think we shouldn't necessarily miss this opportunity. If they're gonna charge us, I forget the number in it, $70 a ton. At the time, I remember elsewhere, it was $70 a ton, where the county was charging, or the regular waste collector was charging us $90 a ton. So I think we should move forward. Mr. Mensch, you tell me. If we improve this tonight, it doesn't mean that we have to direct them to go there. But I don't remember, maybe you can help me, Jerry?
I can help you.
I don't know what the
92.
dates are, but I don't wanna miss that date where I believe that I read in there as a quick reading, is that if we don't do it by this certain time, we're not gonna be permitted to get it.
So there's no sense in postponing the discussion because we already had it. And a lot of what Glenn said is accurate. Right now, we're paying just under $90. This would allow us in the future, if we join, to pay $92 per ton. And from what I'm getting from the other managers around the state, that solid waste contracts like we have with Interstate are going up significantly. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to join the county, or at least approach them and say that we could join in a future date, but we have no obligation to do so.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, okay, why don't you join it?
And can I just, as just for a point of order, I see that Councilman Kim
Where,
on.
Yeah, she knows.
But, okay,
She let him in.
but did he vote on the other things? I just wanna make sure we don't miss his vote, and if it was all in favor, I don't know.
Yeah, all, most of
Okay,
us
I
are
just
all
wanna
in
make
favor.
sure, I'm not, you know,
That we're not leaving them out.
thank you.
No.
So to finish, it doesn't hurt us to join the county cooperative. We don't necessarily have to use them, but in the future, as Councilman Luciano explained, we could use them, and we do have that option. So it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt us at all.
Okay,
I'll make the
yeah.
motion to accept that resolution with the possibility of going forward with the county.
any second? Okay.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Oh,
Member Simon? Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
And Glenn, just to your point about the timing, you have, the borough has until September 25th to decide if they actually want to use it and be guaranteed essentially to get entry. After September 25th, they may still let you participate, but the hauler is not required to reserve space, so to
I
speak.
wish you
So,
would have said that about 5 minutes ago, but I didn't.
it's okay,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah.
Let's move on.
But it does say that the program is gonna be open, essentially the program starts June 1. So if you wanted to go sooner, you could.
So.
September 25th though is the
Just-
cutoff of, like, if you don't do it before that, you may not get in.
Jerry, the opportunity.
Thank you for the clarification, sir.
So it's $92.
Okay,
But it could go up.
yeah, okay, let's move on. I need a motion to approve the bill list. I need a motion. Anybody?
Motion to approve.
Yes. Anybody has a different or opinion or any discussion?
Do you have a second?
Last month, I guess Marco was here, but I know that we had tabled 108 other, whoever's rec committee. Did we ever figure out what the
Yeah.
mileage was for?
It's posted on the SharePoint. We posted the,
Last time I checked SharePoint, I sent Councilman Di Gregorio
It
an
was
email. Every folder was empty.
it was opened, it's full today.
Yeah, it's so,
Yeah, I checked it today.
Oh, I didn't even
What
get
time
it.
today, 5 o'clock?
It's all there, yeah. I don't have my computer, I didn't open it, I didn't memorize the
I
list,
had nothing.
but it's all spelled out there.
I thought that
There was
that
a
was
list of the
intentional.
mileage of where he went. I might have,
Location and
I
miles,
think I
yeah.
might have got an email on it, but I don't.
Yeah,
The
location.
SharePoint-
I didn't
So
get
the
it.
SharePoint I sent to Councilman Di Gregorio, I never heard back. That said that all the folders that when he invited us to look at it were all empty.
I'll distribute the link.
okay.
I didn't have a second on the
Who
payment.
is the second?
Who seconded that? For the payment of
I
claims?
did. I motioned it and seconded it. You can put that in minutes like the other
Okay.
one. I made a
Okay,
motion. Does anybody want to volunteer and say they were the second?
Okay.
I think I,
okay.
Okay, you throw a motion.
did
I
already,
say
right?
whatever.
Yeah, we did, let it, okay.
somebody did.
Roll call, please.
You
Okay.
two did it.
Member Kim?
The Gats and Liang did it.
Member Kim?
Chris,
Chris?
wake up.
Member Kim?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I abstain.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
It passes.
Okay, thank you. 11, consent agenda, how we gonna?
Just do each one individually, Mayor. I think
Individually?
we already voted to separate them, so let's just,
That was days ago.
Okay, I need a motion for
yesterday.
the 24-120 approval of special service charges for Open Public Record Act request.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call, please.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, pass. Okay, 24-121, authorize a donation of unused PD equipment, 26 pairs of protect
Motion.
tactical level 3 ceramic body armor. I need a motion.
Motion.
A second?
Roll call, please.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Is this the donation?
Yes. Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Okay, 24-122, authorized scope of work to Negolia Engineering for Floyd Street Road paving program. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay,
Discussion just quickly, I just want to verify that we were told that this is 100% covered by the
Yes, yes.
grant.
okay, thank you.
Is
This,
that correct?
this contract with
Yes, for
Neglia
Floyd Street.
is 100% covered by the NJDOT, 2 grants, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
one or 2 or 4, I
Okay.
just want to make sure it's all
Yep.
covered.
Okay, roll call, please.
Member
Just trying
Kim?
to clear up the grant.
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, 24-123, appointment part-time finance clerk, Rich Busa. I need a vote. We need discussion.
In July.
3-month period ending July 31st
Okay,
of this year.
Have we gone out, have we started advertising?
I have not posted
Not
the
yet.
advertisement
I'm
yet.
working on the advertisement, should go out soon.
Okay,
any,
Motion.
any motion?
Motion. Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
yes.
Member Luciano?
I'm gonna abstain.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay,
I have a
24-.
question on the clarification on that resolution. So, once we do the advertisement and after going through the process, if an individual is selected before the time is up, does he still continue until the end of that period?
No, we can terminate him at any time.
Wait.
Yeah. If we get somebody in between.
That goes with conflict of what we just talked about with another one where he's gonna come up. Isn't it? Did we talk about the rec director? It said
No,
if we make a
we're not.
motion and it says it goes to this point in time, we might have a hard time just saying and changing it and saying no. Is that not what I just heard before?
No, so it's, sorry, it's two different issues. So the first one here is, this employee is an employee, at will. The job automatically terminates at a certain period of time. Theoretically, it could be, if we don't find somebody and you want to extend it, you could extend it. But there's nothing that locks you in. The other issue,
I'm listening.
which is being a little circumspect, I was circumspect there a little bit and being so too, which is there's an argument about reasonable reliance in certain instances. So you just want to, nobody has the right to rely specifically on continued employment if you are not in a, under a contract or a civil service or a union, et cetera. But if hypothetically you tell somebody you're gonna do something at one point in time and you then don't do it later, there may or may not be arguments to suggest that, hey, I stuck around relying upon something, thinking you're gonna do it. You might be able to, I'm not saying you'd be wrong to do it, but there could be arguments made about it.
So, do you think that we should amend it to say that he would be appointed part-time clerk until
It's determined he's no longer needed.
until a full-time employee is,
You could add that in there, there's no reason not to add that in there.
and so that way we're covered.
So with regard to, yeah,
Okay,
Oh,
Good.
yeah, there's no problem.
good?
yeah,
I
so I'll put
won't
language in there.
stick on my procedural thing, so we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, then.
So just to be clear on that item, I think we should mention, since Councilwoman Simon has essentially amended the resolution that was just passed, and I do think, well, I don't know that it's legally necessary to the extent that we're talking about it, and it could be, I think we should, Councilwoman, you should make a motion to just clarify, I think you should do it by motion with a vote, that the language in the resolution currently reads, Richard Busa is hereby appointed to the part-time position in the finance office. And I think then the language that we'd add right after that would be until a full-time replacement is found, or otherwise determined by the borough.
Do you want it not to exceed 3 months?
Right, right, or,
Already did the not to exceed 3 months.
So
Right.
we could do it, or we could do it,
Either
or until
or.
the place is
Until
first,
full-time.
or the 3 months.
Or until, yeah,
That way we're
I
covered.
need an or in there, Matthew.
So what is the possibility we can find somebody within 3 months? What about,
Then you'll have to do another resolution to keep them.
That's our deadline.
so it would be,
why we mention 3 months?
I need to force a deadline, so we have to get ourselves together.
Can't you
Okay.
just do it by whoever made the whoever made the motion in second, just amend it, and you won't even have to go through it all?
we can do that too. I just want to make sure the language is clear.
Yep.
I'm going to change it to a different place now, based on what I just said. It'll be paid, $6 per hour from May 1 to July 31st, 2024, or until a replacement is found.
That's the amendment. Thank you.
Okay? Or actually, I guess I should say, or unless a replacement is found sooner. Otherwise, there's no reason to have an end date in there, so. Or unless a replacement is found sooner. Okay.
So we need to vote?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yeah, just vote on that. Just, one motion. We don't need to do
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
motions. Just
Okay.
Okay, roll call, please.
Member Kim? Member Kim?
Wake them up, Rick.
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
I'll still abstain.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, then 24-124, appointment of part-time recreation director Marco Sango. I need a motion.
Which one?
The part-time, then, 124.
No,
Part-time.
the part-time.
Yeah, we did it.
I'll make that, I'll move that.
Second?
Anybody second?
A second.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Abstain.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, 24-125, appointment of Corey Minetti as a borough mechanic. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, we already did 26, 21, 26, 127, right? We already did it.
Yeah, 126.
Now it's 128.
Land tech.
128?
128.
128.
What about
Now you
126?
have,
Earlier.
Oh,
now you have the full time.
Yeah, 128
20.
is,
In that order, David.
well, that was already 8 hours ago.
that is 126,
We
127
did that
done.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now
So
we
we need
have
128. Appointment of a full-time recreation director Marco Sango. I need a motion.
That was as of what date?
We
Jerry?
already,
25.
As of May 1st, 2025.
yeah. Okay,
Motion.
motion. Okay, and the second, I need a second. No second?
Do a second.
I think you can make the council.
I'll make second.
2025.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
we got a
You
second.
have the second?
yeah.
I make a motion to table.
Second.
Okay.
Hey, Margaret.
You have a roll call vote on the motion to table.
Motion table roll call first.
Member Kim?
Abstain.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Yes, only because I don't believe we should hold accountable the future council to some decision we make today. It can always be brought up again next year after he continues his awesome work that he's been doing for us.
Member Di Gregorio?
No.
Member Begets?
No for what?
No to table.
Motion to
Table.
table, full time.
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Motion
So,
motion to
table?
table passes.
Okay. Okay, 129, appointment to special counsel Harrison C. Clever. Okay, I need a motion.
we have any information on this person? Because this is another one that we got surprised with today, and I haven't seen the resolution. I don't know who the attorney is, I don't know who the heck, or what kind of work. I don't wanna hire a special counsel for, what's the special counsel we're hiring him for? And is he a bankruptcy attorney that we're hiring him for PBA work? I don't know.
Yeah. So, Mr. Clewell is from the firm of Genova Burns. They do a lot of government, political, Oprah type work. So, as well as litigation work. So Mr. Clewell would be a special counsel who would be available at my discretion with regard to entering appearances or handling Oprah matters and/or looking at, aspects of litigation, which looking at our whole portfolio of litigation, so to speak, on all the Oprah matters and all the matters that are in front of the same courts to determine whether or not there's a comprehensive story.
Does this lawyer have appellate work?
I don't know whether this specific lawyer does, but the firm itself does. So
Hiring the firm? Or this
it's
firm?
both. So I mean, he's the person that would be the day-to-day, which is why we name an attorney, because that way nobody says, well, what the firm is doing it.
And how much
He'd be the
per
day-to-day.
hour, Matt?
The resolution here is $250.
Why 250?
Well, they wanted more, and I said no. I didn't think that more was necessary, but it was a blended rate, meaning that we get the benefit of partners' rates at a higher, amount lower. And so I thought that they, right now, the borough standard rate is $225. That's what our standard rate is for the hours. Based on the work that I know that I want to ask him to do, I thought that, going a little higher was appropriate, but not all the way up where they
Where
wanted.
is this firm out of?
Bergen County?
Bergen County, where? Do you know where his office is?
It could be Hudson County, but I do, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, if he's Hudson County, we definitely want him.
I think it's in Bergen County. It's a North Jersey firm. I mean, it's
This is someone you.
could be Newark. I mean, now it could be Newark, I guess. It could be, they may have moved to Newark.
Better.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, I'm trying to think where they're at,
No disrespect, but I mean, I don't understand how, continually, we're getting things on the last day. Mr. Park, please hold up to your word and do not allow things to be presented to us on the night of the meeting. It's very frustrating to have to go, to waste time like I am wasting your time right now that you're gonna think I am, but I don't think I'm wasting my time, because I think every one of these questions, you all should be asking. I don't know how we're gonna vote on an attorney that we don't know a hill of beans about.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we just,
Well, he might need.
why don't we pretend that the council meeting is gonna take place on the scheduled date, and then we'll postpone it a week, and then everything will be there.
But we
I,
almost
You know,
finished.
I think, Councilman, just
Yeah,
a few quick things. So one, we do need, additional assistance, especially, I don't want to presume where other, other resolutions are going, but, we do have a need, on this matter. I can't speak on every item on the agenda, but I can tell you that, some of these items that you got late today are on me. My time over the past couple days has been redirected on other Englewood Cliffs matters that unfortunately meant that stuff got here later. And so I just want to make sure that there may be other.
Very busy, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, and I appreciate what you're saying. It still doesn't change the fact that we had made an agreement. There was a proclamation by the mayor that this would not take place. There's still an issue on here that I raised before. We're bringing resolutions. We had a resolution that was done by Councilman Kim that said every resolution was going to be identified by who's bringing it before us, and we can't even get that on our agenda. It's just sickening to me.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that, again, I'm not saying that there's not a valid complaint or anything else. I just want to make sure that, I take responsibility where, in some instances, it's on me. And I will just point out that when I did send my resolutions, I did put in parentheses the titles of all my documents, legal, because I was the one creating them. So I just want to let you know, I did do that part of it on my,
You send
on
it
my
to
thing.
me, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
working, if I got something at 5 o'clock, I'm
I
already
know.
trying to get home from work and ready to prepare for this meeting. With this amount of documents that I've got, it makes it a
I
little
got you.
difficult.
I know.
Thank you, I'm sorry. to let you
I
go.
have worked, just by the way, since I know no one knows this attorney, I've worked with this firm and this attorney in different instances, both against them and with them. So I've had cases where they've been on the opposite side of me on various matters. I had,
You stand on the right side of the aisle or the left side of the aisle?
they're on the left, I'm on the right, but,
Right, you are.
you know, they,
That's still not gonna
so-
work for them.
but just want to let you know, I do know the attorney. It's not a, somebody I've worked, had cases opposed to. In this case, Mr. Clewell and I were on the opposite sides of that matter.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion.
Motion.
Anybody? Okay, roll call, please.
Member Kim?
Abstain.
Member Simon?
Abstain.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 24-130, approve not to exceed payment over 350,000 to Core Church. No?
Mr. Attorney, Mr. Lynch.
I need a,
Yes.
Actually going by at this late hour.
Whatever you want at this point.
okay, I need a motion.
Still being kind.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Yes,
Let's get a
second.
motion second, then you.
Second?
Okay, roll call.
Motion to pay cold shots?
Yes.
To increase the not to exceed.
Member Kim?
No, wait, wait, wait.
Yes.
Discussion, I don't care what anybody says, you're not gonna come.
Yeah, no, you got discussion, you got discussion.
Real quickly, does that, the bill list tonight, it's like up to 150 already. We talked about some of the things that the attorneys are hiring versus is this just them, or does this
No,
include everything?
includes everything. So, and that's what we did. I mean, I think there's two separate bills because I think Mr. Yellen wanted to make sure that, his portion is still below, but the expert fees that he pays,
Yeah.
but that's separate. So
I just
this,
wanna make sure that
this
what's-
includes, in discussing this matter with Mr. Yellen, we wanted to make sure that the number that was presented was realistic, that doesn't require us to come back again, hopefully, but also,
We probably will, but I just
I don't
wanna
know,
make
but
sure that it wasn't
it's everything.
this number,
Nope.
and then the number that we
Additional.
talked about, what the professional
Nope.
might be, is on top of it.
Nope,
So
this is included
I
in
just
here.
wanna be
Either
clear.
way you wanna slice it, it's the same money.
Well, no, if it's 350 versus 450.
right, you wanna know
it's a
that.
big difference.
Yeah, you wanna know that. Right now, this is it. We hope that's it.
Thank you.
Member
So-
Kim?
Mr. Kim?
Member Kim?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
I abstain.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, 24-131, appointment special counsel Jerry Dasty to pursue certification with the Supreme Court. I need a motion.
Who's bringing this before us?
So,
Who's bringing this before us? This is what I wanna know.
Who asked for this to be on the agenda?
Yes, several council members ask, and
Can several council members identify themselves, because I think it's just absurd, once again.
we should actually do a motion and then have the
Motion second,
discussion.
then discussion.
Motion,
Follow the procedure, I like that, I'm happy to hear
Good.
that, that's good,
Go ahead.
sinking in.
so, someone move it.
Need a motion.
Yeah, I need a motion
I'll make a motion.
and a second.
Just we're gonna determine the motion in the second is gonna tell me who actually was in discussion.
Second.
So I know Mr. Liang was one.
Motion and
Thinks we
you
should
wanna
go to
do
Supreme
second?
Court.
Did you
Or-
second? Who
No,
seconded?
Mr. Liang is the only one who made a motion.
there
you
there was,
made a motion.
there is no second at the moment. There's a motion, but no second.
David will second it.
David made a motion and.
No.
No,
No,
Mr.
no, no,
Liang.
no. Councilman Liang made the motion, and there is no second at the present time. And I'm not running the meeting, I don't need to step on your toes, but that's the way it happened right now. Okay, so let's move on. There's no second.
No second?
No second.
No second.
Are
can
you
keep
sure?
looking around, but there's no
Okay.
second. We're sure.
Okay.
Approve the termination of services. This is your.
Okay,
your baby.
24-132.
Yeah, all right, just before we move on from, I just want to make sure everyone's aware of one fact, and they may be, I just want to make sure everyone's aware of it, which is, On the prior resolution, so.
Let's not try
No.
to drum up.
Okay.
Oh, no, but I need to make sure that this is clear to protect myself, so nobody comes back later and says, I didn't know what I didn't vote on. Which is, if the borough wanted to appeal to the Supreme Court that decision, then, right now, if, with this resolution not moving forward, then we would not be appealing, which is okay. I just want to make sure, protect myself, that everyone understands it, so we don't come back later and say we missed a deadline and you didn't tell us and we didn't realize.
So what's the deadline?
Then this is a very serious issue.
800.
Why
So-
we didn't know that?
So,
This is very important.
That's the next study.
so,
Rivka doesn't even know what the case was.
okay, just to,
In a bad way, I'm just saying.
right, all right. So, the resolution here, which is authorizing Jerry Dasty, under the direction of the municipal attorney, to pursue certification with the Supreme Court in the matter of Borough versus Trauner in an amount not to exceed $17,000. So that is the resolution. This would authorize, so as the council knows, the appellate division had an order, or a decision that said that the borough is responsible for the finding of the frivolous litigation of the malpractice action. There's a bunch of different legal issues within that, but the main issue, not over did the borough or didn't the borough do something, was, sorry, I'm joking here. I'm good. There's two conflicting Superior Court cases over whether a municipality can be liable under the frivolous litigation statute. One case said no, government entities are not eligible to be found liable under frivolous litigation, saying it was against public interest to hold tax-paying entities liable. A second case, I'll take the order.
You have water behind you.
The second case, first case was from like the 70s, second case was from like the 80s, said differently. It said, no, if a municipality engages in frivolous litigation, then they should have to pay. Since those two cases, there's been no other cases in like 30 years addressing the issue. So the appellate division came out on our case, ruled on it and said, no, municipalities can be found liable under frivolous litigation statute. And then, of course, they went on to find that the borough had been frivolous with its litigation. So this right now, in order to petition the Supreme Court, there's no dissent in this matter, which means you don't get an automatic right to go to the Supreme Court. So the first thing you'd have to do is ask the Supreme Court to take your case. So that's a two-step process. Jerry has done step one at the moment under my direction, which was simply to put in the form. You have to give a notice. It's a one-page notice to make sure you don't miss the date, because the date is like Friday of this week. Okay? But in order to do it, he then needs to do a brief, which would be due next week. So if the borough does not want to pursue an appeal, then that's fine. Then I will tell Jerry, you withdraw your notice of intent to petition, and you move on. No harm, no foul, you move on. If the borough wants to proceed with the appeal, well, then you'd either direct.
Somebody else.
Well, you could direct, those are the two options, right? So option one is we do want to appeal and we want me to do it, you want somebody else to do it. I mean, it doesn't have to be Jerry. So Jerry put in the paperwork, but it's not a binary choice of appeal with Jerry or not appeal. It's, do you appeal, yes or no? And if you want to appeal but you don't want Jerry to do it, that's okay. Then you just direct me to do it or direct one of their special counsels to do it, or
Can we get,
The new firm that we just hired.
When
do that. They could do it. They could do it.
The Superior Court.
May I ask, what was the nature of the frivolous lawsuit litigation that we lost on appeal?
Yeah, this is the issue of the malpractice case that was brought against all the attorneys. This is Troutner, Serenian, Wunsch, and Marianello. And so as part of that, Councilman, the judge awarded attorney's fees. He found it was frivolous and then awarded attorney's fees. The borough's already paid them I don't remember the exact amount, but it wasn't cheap. Each,
70,000 to
Yeah,
one.
so-
Big $325 to.
Joe and Al resolved theirs differently because they were differently situated, and I think we voluntarily dismissed some. 800 Sylvan has a claim in there for their litigation as well. So,
And that was
so,
only $325, so if you think you're gonna hurt Al, $325 you're gonna.
right, yeah, Al's got, yeah, $300, yeah, right.
But the issue
So,
with me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
so that's the case. So this would be, if you were appealing it, it would be a kind of a two-part issue. One would be really the legal issue that's of interest here. If the Supreme Court's taking it, they're taking it because they want to weigh in on this relatively novel issue of are municipalities subject to the frivolous litigation statute? If they say, yes, you are, there are still additional arguments that can be made about, well, even if we are, we shouldn't have been found liable, or there's problems with the process, but realistically, you're probably going to win or lose on that first issue. Either the Supreme Court's going to say, no, it's a public entity and you're not liable under the frivolous litigation statute, or it is applicable and they probably defer down below. That's the issue.
The appellate court, the Superior Court has found this, that we were bad actors. The appellate court has concurred with the Superior Court. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that the Superior Court, both of those cases were identified to the appellate division. I think they even commented on both of them. And I don't know why we're going once again to throw good money, we throw more things at cases that we know we're gonna lose. I'm not an attorney, we're gonna lose this case. I don't know why we're gonna pay somebody to bring this, for what proof? We already paid it, what are we gonna, you gonna get credit to get it back?
Well-
We ain't getting it back, we ain't winning. I think that it was the right decision not to not get a second on it. It makes no sense to me.
If, and to answer your question, I don't know if you're gonna win it or not. I mean, the only thing I will point out is you very well could lose, but when appellate courts look at issues, they look at it, there's no deference given, there's deference given to fact finding, which is why, depending on how the courts go, a Supreme Court's not necessarily gonna overturn fact finding of a trial court judge. Legal issues, the legal issue of whether the statute applies to municipalities is something that the Supreme Court, if they take the case, will look at fresh. But Councilwoman, to your point, if you want to appeal but don't want, you want to use a different firm than Mr. Dasty, I would recommend either the firm that the Genova Burns firm that we just hired. I know you're not gonna, yeah. Or Scott Salmon's firm, who's one of your special counsel. Those are the two that I would recommend.
Okay, can I make a motion then? I make a motion to hire Scott Simon for this resolution, this appeal.
So you think we're gonna go to the Supreme Court and waste money? Okay, that's good.
And David, if you're gonna do that, I would just suggest you say Scott Salmon or first and then Mr. Clewell. Just because I don't want a situation where if Scott for some reason
Okay,
can't do it, has a conflict, doesn't want to do it, I don't,
Scott Simon first and Clewell second.
So
Okay.
this is the same 129 or we?
131.
131.
131, correct.
So the motion is to do the appeal, but to have Scott or Genova Burns, do the appeal.
Right. So, second. So I moved it. Did you second it, Rivka?
Okay.
David moved it, Rivka seconded it.
Okay. Member Kim?
No.
Member Simon?
No.
Member Lucia and Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Bigats? Yes. Member Liang?
Yes.
Mayor Tutai?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, 24-132. Approve the termination of a service of Irene Asbury. I need a motion. I need
A motion.
Any second? Okay, second.
Member Kim?
Discussion, what about?
Discussion.
Discussion.
You gotta put a pause there.
That's 132. No, that's not what I was looking for, but thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so we,
Vote.
Hold on.
So this again is, go back to my my statement as a resident of this town, just to, can I have that microphone on? I'll move it to you. You can say, oh boy, all you want. I'll say this goes back to my comment from before. As a resident, and I am a resident, I'm also a councilman, but I think that, Ms. Asbury has been one of the most thorough and complete, professional attorneys that we have hired. I think this is, once again, it doesn't smell right to me, that there seems to be some kind of, cover-up or conspiracy to, go against her because of the fact that she's not in support of the illegal actions of what Judge Farrington has found that former Councilman Katrubis as well as former Mayor Crackjack has committed to the court. And I think you guys are doing a disservice to this town by relieving her of her services. And once again, this is something that was brought to us at 90 minutes before this meeting tonight, and I once again take exception that there's resolutions that are being presented to us at the last minute, going against what Mr. Park had promised us wouldn't happen. And,
Everybody there.
excuse me, Councilwoman?
No, just put everybody in your bucket. We can
Was
name all
everybody in
of
my
us,
bucket? What does that
yes.
mean?
That you are attacking everybody here. The
I'm not
the
attacking
mayor,
anybody.
the this,
I'm
the
saying
that,
the mayor
everybody's
lied
to
to the
blame.
court.
Okay, lies, really lies.
Let's move
Drama.
it forward.
Come on, you know it's 12
It's a
o'clock,
proven
come
fact.
on.
Read the order.
Okay,
Read
like
the
the
order.
court, yeah,
I know you don't
sure.
care about the court orders.
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
Roll call,
Quick
please.
question.
Yes.
When resolution 2024-120, I'm sorry, 24-120, was that suggested by Ms. Asbury?
I'm sorry,
Firework?
24120.
The first resolution that was approved today. Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, she did suggest, I don't know whether the final version that my office did is identical to what she suggested, but she did suggest an ordinance a week or two ago on special service charges, I believe. Yes, yes. So she suggested it. Somebody from my office looked at what she sent and then, reviewed it, and I don't know if it's identical or if we made changes.
You mean the what, 24-120 you're talking about?
If it's, yes, it's definitely gonna be similar, if not identical. I think it's based off of Dumont's, is what we use as the basis. Yeah.
Did we make a motion for 132?
Yes.
No. Yes, okay.
Member Kim,
I abstain.
Member Simon,
No.
No.
Member Luciano, Member Di Gregorio,
Yes.
Member Begets,
Yes.
Member Liang.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 24-133, authorize agreement to borrow administrator as environmental inspector and the arborist.
Motion.
Second.
So, just to be clear, because there was some confusion over this, because of my office's late providing this resolution. Just to be clear, though, for the record, this is a resolution authorizing a contract with the borough administrator for being the borough administrator and the appointment of the administrator as the environmental inspector / arborist. So there's two actions within this resolution. And if approved, Mr. Barbario would be the environmental inspector and arborist at a salary of $1 for up until December 31st of 2026, and would be the administrator for a term that would run similarly, subject to the same salary he has now, with no increases proposed over that time frame. And we would end 168. And then that would be subject to entering a formal agreement in the general form that we provided. Hopefully you have it. It's the one you saw a couple months ago. I did receive some edits from Councilman Luciano. I don't know that he necessarily agreed with the substance, but he did provide some technical and typographical edits, which I believe have been incorporated, but if not, we will incorporate them.
Once again, for the record, I haven't seen it since we didn't get it till 5 o'clock this evening.
But so that's the resolution.
So,
Okay.
motion, we have a motion and a second,
Yes.
correct?
Member Kim?
Just one question before.
Yeah.
Jerry, do you now replace, was it Jank?
By ordinance that was passed in March and in April, yes.
I don't understand the answer.
I don't replace him, but I'm also an environmental.
So you work in conjunction with him? So he's not dismissed
Oh, no.
in his capacity?
No, but the resolution, I'm sorry, the ordinance requires an arborist to do tree approvals.
Okay.
And he's not known.
He's not. He's a great
But this is this resolution is to hire Mr. Barbario as the administrator and the arborist combined.
Correct.
And the
Correct.
environmental.
Okay, Member Kim?
Just one quick question. For the employment agreement, does that, there was a previous provision that said that the borough administrator could only be terminated by the mayor. Was that changed to?
That was removed. So any provisions that are in conflict with state law, the ordinance can't expand. And that's the same thing where, even in your ordinance, which tries to limit the terms of the administrator, would also not be consistent with state law. The administrator serves at the pleasure of the governing body, subject to the normal removal processes. So the contract, Councilman, that said the mayor can remove, that's not accurate under state law and wouldn't be approved here.
Okay.
Okay, Member Kim?
I abstain.
Member Simon?
No.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, we don't need the 24-134, right? Okay,
Thank you, Jerry.
now we're gonna move on introduction of ordinance 24-07. Ordinance amending the borough fee schedule. I need a motion.
Motion?
Okay. Roll call, please.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
I'm gonna abstain because this was like a 40-page document that I think I just got the other day, and to compare some of our fees look like they're way out of whack with what our neighboring communities are charging, so, and my own fault, I guess, maybe, but I didn't have enough time to digest it.
Distributed on Thursday, it was 42 pages.
Yeah, I said last week 38, so it was
He's
even more.
incredibly
pages.
accurate. He's incredibly accurate.
I didn't say it was, did I say it was inaccurate?
No, I said it was.
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
you're right.
Much to
Yeah,
digest.
he's saying you're right. He's saying you're right.
No, I'm saying
He's agreeing with
it's
you.
accurate. It's 42 pages.
Okay.
Someone
Member
help
Di
put the,
Gregorio?
I just want to give credit where credit is due.
Matthew Leon.
Matthew Leon, I think you had mentioned to me really good work on that, and I think he did.
Excellent work.
Okay.
He did the research for 7 neighboring communities, so that created the list.
Okay, so,
We're in line with every neighboring community.
Sorry, not to be a stickler, but if we are in the middle of a vote, we should be voting and then we
Okay,
can comment
sorry
before or
about
after.
okay, yep,
Member Di Gregorio?
yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 24-08, ordinance amending the recreation fee schedule. I need a motion.
Motion, second,
Okay, roll call, please.
Just also to know that on the ordinance, the boys basketball K8 and girls basketball is moved from 150 to 250 on both.
Yeah, Laura, for the first ordinance that we just did you note that it was a first reading and that there was gonna be we said it for?
I was just gonna do it on
Okay.
both now.
Okay, that's fine.
And yes, and both 2407 and 08, the public hearing will be on June 12th. Need a second?
Yeah, okay,
It's next month. Wait, am I not? Yeah,
you can,
You are correct.
So this,
right? Okay.
so
Who
this is
seconded that?
introduction by title only?
Correct, correct. And the schedule of all the fees is, for the first one is the 42-page document that Glenn mentioned. And there's a couple items I think that do need to be updated, titles to make sure that the fee titles match the ordinances. And so there could be a few changes that with regard to the fees, or ordinances that we have to go back later and amend if they're so out of, just old and, not really relevant anymore.
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Abstain.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Bejetz?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Adoption of ordinance, we already first reading, we did it last month, right?
Yes. this is
Yeah,
to adopt.
24-03 amendment to the noise ordinance. I need a motion, okay, I have to go to open.
Open to the
hearing
public.
First, okay, open to the public. Anyone has
This is
any
the-
opinion?
So open to the public on the noise ordinance, which prohibits, this is the one that prohibits noise, no amplified music.
Is this,
Outside.
do we have to do a
Outside.
motion to open to the public or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion to open up to the public?
And the second, I need a second,
Second.
okay. No one seeing
No
and
one.
no one
There's
hearing?
no one.
Close the meeting.
Okay, close on public hearing and.
Motion to close?
Motion
Yeah,
close.
I just made it, I'll second it, I made it, but David, you take it, I'll second it.
Okay,
I put yours first already.
I need a
So
vote.
now we need the motion to adopt.
They've done it, I think.
There's no
I
one.
think David made a motion,
Yeah, I
Glenn
have
seconded.
them. I have
Okay, yep.
I have them vice versa. Now
I
motion
make a
to
motion to accept.
Okay,
the
motion
ordinance.
to, okay, accept the motion to
second.
accept
Second.
ordinance. Second,
Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Bejetz?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
okay, thank you. Okay, 24-05, an ordinance providing for the implementation of value improvement program. I need
Mo-
motion to
motion.
open for the public hearing.
Motion to open to the public?
Second.
Okay, anyone?
There's no one.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this going to now open this up to possibility Chaffee coming back to us and saying, I'm making significant improvements down on my property and I wanna have a tax abatement for 5 years?
I don't know the situation on Chaffee off the top of my head specifically, but maybe,
Yeah.
Well,
maybe.
just
I can't tell you no, I just,
something you all should be aware of. I know we're trying to do it specifically for
well,
one company or
maybe,
one piece of property, but you gotta understand now that it opens it up. to
Yeah,
everybody.
okay, we cannot discriminate anyone, specific
This is,
building owner, right?
correct, this is, anybody who fits, it's a borough-wide ordinance, so whether we like the improvements, don't like the improvements, like the people, don't like the people, if you otherwise meet the criteria spelled out in there, then you would be entitled, and again, this is a 5-year abatement on the delta between the improvements, if you improve and your value goes up, then you have an abatement of a certain percentage off of that for 5 years.
But that is not, okay, it's,
Fees are $15 million, I think that would be.
okay, but this is a non-residential property,
Excuse me?
non-residential property.
Correct.
This one,
Commercial.
this non-residential, no,
Commercial or industrial?
yeah,
That's a commercial property.
yeah, non-residential.
yeah,
But the
so,
Chiaffi property is commercial.
That is, they gonna put on the apartment, right?
Isn't it mixed use?
Mixed use is good, mixed use.
The apartment is not gonna qualify it.
We'll see that.
Or you
That's what I'm
commercial.
saying. I just wanna make sure that everybody's aware.
Apartment
Good
is not
question.
qualified. Okay, I need
It
to,
was,
Well, you don't know that that's what they're gonna go with. That's
Okay.
up in the air.
where are we? Are we opening to the public?
Yes, there's no one.
Motion to open to the public?
No, there's close.
Or close to the public?
Close the
Motion to
motion.
close to the public?
yeah,
Second.
Okay. Motion to
okay.
adopt.
Maybe
Overlay zone.
Okay, motion and second, adopt the ordinance.
Okay, so are
Wait
we,
a second, who is the
Motion
second?
second to adopt.
Yes.
I motion.
Yeah,
We
okay,
gotta take a vote on this one.
no, oh,
There
We
was,
did already.
I spoke
Yeah.
during the public session.
right,
yeah, we did already.
we did already, there was a
Yeah.
motion, a second, and a vote. There was.
Yeah, we don't, now we can vote.
That's
To
all.
adopt
Just
the,
said how to open
to
the vote.
adopt ordinance
Yes.
24
Yes.
Member,
05.
Member Kim made that motion.
And then
Second.
David,
Yes.
All right.
I got it.
Well,
Okay. Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
No.
Member Luciano? Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
yes.
Okay, 24-06 sewer connection fees.
Motion to
I need
open to the
for
public.
the public.
Second.
Okay,
no one?
no one hearing and no one seeing.
No one.
Okay, I need close to on the
Motion.
public. Okay, motion and second to adopt the ordinance.
Motion to accept the ordinance.
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call
Member
please.
Kim?
Oh,
Discussion,
Yes.
No
roll call.
discussion. Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now, item 14, committee report. Anybody want to report?
Oh, the next
Yeah, I have
time.
a request.
Who?
I have,
I have a report.
Oh, you have a report, I'm sorry.
you have a report.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to
Okay,
mention
go ahead.
that. Chief, she has a report. She can gladly report.
No,
Actually, I spoke to you about it, Jerry. It came out of the Board of Health meeting the other night, where there, not that it's a Board of Health issue, but there are a number of residents who don't wanna receive and wanna opt out of getting the throwaway papers. And you said you had some kind of program that you can implement where people can get in touch in order to opt out.
Ask to opt out.
Would you kindly look into that going forward?
It's like the do not call list.
What?
Something like that, the do not call
This is for
list
the paper.
for the paper.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Technically, we have an ordinance, or I think we have an ordinance that says you have to send them a registered letter, but I think it's a bunch of horse manure. I called them myself directly, and spoke to the distributor of the paper. They transferred me to, they gave me the phone number of the lady who's in charge of the home delivery people. And I just called them and told them, if you throw another paper on my yard, I have your license plate, I'm gonna charge you with littering. I never got another paper.
Yeah.
Because those papers
Oh, I
would
know,
not be
I know,
considered
I-
when people
I
read it.
always wondered if a town could pass it, because you can't ban them outright, it's
No,
a
because
First
that's
Amendment
what
issue.
we're doing.
But I wondered if there was a way, whether you could,
Well, that's why
whether
I
you could base,
spoke to
well,
Jerry.
but you could, where you could, as a borough, you could say, because oftentimes, right, they throw them out of the windows. So I wonder if you could pass like a public safety ordinance that says nobody should be throwing materials out of a moving vehicle. And, and should be, and any stuff delivered to a home should be placed in a receptacle. Because not everyone has them anymore, but used to have the,
There are lots of people who also want to receive it.
oh, I know,
So,
I
The
know.
only problem I
I
have
know.
with that, just like I saw something about this, even though I don't see it on here, is helmets with the motorized bicycles we got the other day too.
Yeah.
I don't understand who's gonna enforce it.
Well, that's it.
Why are we gonna spend money to advertise for an ordinance that no one's gonna enforce? We can't get, no disrespect for the police, they're cool, and they have a valid point that, you know what, these guys are riding their bicycles, they're obstructing traffic, and they don't have their driver's license. Who's gonna go after these kids that are, I think they're the most hazardous thing, and I work down a couple towns south of here, and I ride my motorcycle, and they're going in and out of traffic with no helmet on faster than I am on my motorcycle. You know what I mean? And no one's gonna enforce it.
The wrong way on the street too.
It's just, you
They're all
know,
over.
it's like, I agree with you, I think that, you know what, we can pass that, but to me, it's like, just, and I agree, I've made the suggestion that we should make them, put them in boxes, but then no one wanna have, put a box by the borough hall, if you want the paper, go get it. But there's limitations on First Amendment issues, so, but however we can get it, Mr. Rivera would be great.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr., oh, you got more, sorry,
Well, no, I want to introduce a resolution.
Okay, well, I wanna ask a question first, and then.
Go ahead.
Mr.
I know.
Lynch, last month we asked about, there's this big issue about attorneys and their files. Mr. Bernstein, Cadwalader, Stone and Manganini, all the other attorneys that are not with us any longer. I've even requested in the email to, I believe it was Mr. Manganini, and totally ignored. Have you sent a letter to
No.
them? Can you please do that? Because I think that, you know what, if we're gonna go after certain attorneys about their files, we should, Bernstein's the worst. He's the one that got us in a lot of this pickles with everything that we have going on. We have, there's 4 firms right there that we no longer have, and everybody wants to make an issue about where's their files. We're not gonna pay them because of their files. Where's Stone and Manganini?
But I think just to be clear, as of right now, I have not made any requests to any attorneys specifically for their files. So nobody, on any of the attorneys anywhere have refused a request for us. And I also think we are currently current on paying all our attorneys, I think. I mean, as far as I know.
We might have paid them, it doesn't mean that it's not,
Right.
like, we
The-
have 800 Silver that's
yeah.
been going on for
I can,
Bernstein.
sure. I can make the request. What I don't know off the top of my head, Councilman, is if there is a cost involved in that, I don't know whether the firms have the ability to charge it, because,
Let's find out.
I'm saying, I just wanna make sure you're aware, I will ask for that, and I don't know, I've never dealt with it where, because some of the firms may have like one file, it's easy, you ship over, 2 red wells and that's
That's
it.
why we should have never
Now-
paid these people until.
Well, they have to, yeah,
What
they
you
have,
guys wanted to do.
they have to do it anyway, the question, I mean, you're entitled to the information, now whether they're entitled to charge you for time to pursue it, and nowadays, there's a lot of, it used to be that even when I first started practicing, everything was paper, so you had red wells of stuff and it was relatively easy to do. Now with emails and files, so anyway, but the answer to your question is I will send the letters and we will see what I get back.
Send it to Anne Marie Rizzuto too,
Yeah, Rizzuto, Bernstein.
cause
Atwell,
that'll give you
and
some
Thorne.
clarity into McMorrow.
I'd also like to make a motion to, terminate the services of Mr. Dasty.
Second,
We're not hiring him for anything.
Well, he's still,
on.
he is still, attorney of record on 800 Sylvan. And he may be a generic special counsel or affordable housing counsel. He was appointed at the beginning of the year. I don't remember the exact, titles.
Motion is to terminate all services of
Is
Mr. Dasty.
is he working on anything now or not?
The only.
Send us a letter about the appeal.
So the only 2 things I'm aware of is he sent a memo with regard to the case we talked about already. He filed the notice of intent to pursue that. I don't know whether, he knows the meeting was tonight. I told him that was on tonight, so I don't know whether he's started any other work on that. And he's had some engagement with Mike Yellen, but I don't think that he's, as far as I know, he is not actively involved with 800 Sylvan in terms of, he sent some materials and some thoughts and comments to Mike that I've seen, but I don't know that he's,
Okay,
Actively,
if he's not actively involved at this moment, why don't you, we make a decision next month? If he don't charge bill anymore, why we hurry about this one?
Well, because right now, Mr. Mayor, with all due respect, there's a motion and a second on the floor. And that's my motion, which I told you is I'm gonna make a motion every month to
that's,
fire him.
yeah,
You fire him.
and so, yes, that is the motion, there can be discussion. And I think what we could do, is, we already know where the council is with regard to the appeal. That's been settled, so Mr. Dasty will not be working on that appeal moving forward, as discussed earlier. What I can do, if what the council wants, is I can certainly check in with Mike Yellen, make sure and with Mr. Dasty on that item, and I can direct Mr. Dasty to, not do any further work on any matter unless specifically requested by me or by Mr. Yellen. And then before the next meeting, if there's some item where if Mr. Yellen comes back and says, actually, Jerry's been working on one particular aspect of this case and I need him to do it, I can let you know that. Otherwise, I can inform Mr. Dasty that the request is for him to, to cease or wrap up any work that he's doing, start nothing new. And, that the expectation is that, he may be
Yeah, that's a better idea.
coming
Might be better, but that's
to a-
not my motion.
I understand it.
I hope the mayor does.
So, but there is a motion right now on the table to terminate Mr. Dasty, which either needs a,
Got a second already.
it's got a second, so it'd be a roll call vote unless there's a motion to table.
Member Kim?
Give you little hints.
I didn't give any hints. I didn't give any hints. I just process. I just giving
Do
process.
that on every motion then, and don't do
I
that on just
just,
my motion.
I just gave process.
Member
Then-
Kim?
Then process is all
Yes.
the same.
Member Simon?
yes to terminate.
Member Luciano?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
No.
Member Begets?
No.
Member Liang?
No.
It's a tie.
No.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to hire Al Wunsch to be special counsel and work on affordable housing along with,
Mr.
Mr. Yellen.
Second.
This would require discussion, a vote on the motion, or a motion to table.
Oh, I'm telling you, you gotta do them on every single one.
I doing it, I just said.
I'm gonna add you to my termination list.
I'm doing it from everything now. You just told me, make sure I remind them of the motion to
You gotta do it on
table.
every one, I'm telling you. But my next motion will be terminating the law with Dasty.
Member Kim?
Just a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Am I able to vote?
That is
Well-
all three.
According to the court order.
So what I have recommended in the past on this particular issue is that a motion to table is a procedural motion.
Motion to table.
Second, we'll find out on Friday if that's legal
If
too.
that's gonna be
'Cause we're
legal.
gonna have enforcement of those rights.
Those issues are being litigated right now in court, so we might get different direction,
Vote on that too.
but there was a motion to table.
Table first.
Motion.
Am I able to vote?
Yes, you can
Yes.
do the
Member
table.
Kim?
Table. Wait, you don't have a second on the motion?
Need
I
it,
do.
we would need a second on the motion to table.
Motion?
Second.
Okay, I just wanted, I didn't ask, that's all.
Member Kim?
No.
Member Simon?
No.
Get the mayor in there too.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begatz?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
Motion fails.
Like
But it fails. Oh, no, I guess that's it. Yeah, no, you're right,
You gotta be fair, I'm not getting tired.
you're right.
I did it.
Yeah, he voted.
I think we're in very good hands with Mr. Yellen. I think we're in the best hands
We're
that we've
good.
ever been
Yeah, I guess.
with Mr. Yellen.
Okay, please, let's move on old and new business.
We have another motion.
Oh,
It's
We
the
have a
way it
motion.
is.
I have a motion, and you guys, this is what, I have a motion resolution of payment to Florio, Puccio, Steinhardt, Capelli, and Tinton. The amount of this has changed a little bit, so I think it's $7,700 that
Okay.
has changed. And this is for, since we had filed a lawsuit based on the fact that, you guys had voted against the court order, and the court had found that you did violate that court order.
Motion to table.
David, so you're going against what you said last month, that you would do this for us as you would do for everybody,
Yeah, you
right?
sent us this
Wow, you
email
truly show your
about
colors.
how inhumane. Go
And there
ahead,
is no
finish.
second, so wait for the second
So
and
wait
then
for
show your
him to read
hypocrite.
this into the
And
record.
Do I need
continue.
to read this whole thing or
Yeah,
just the
read
title?
You don't only read, you can read the whole thing, you don't have to. This is a resolution, just to be fair to everybody, this is a resolution that Councilman Luciano had asked me to prepare. I did prepare it. He asked me to look at the issue of whether or not fees, could be provided, and I reviewed the ordinance. This is, so the issue argument. Okay. Councilman, I can answer your question. I can answer your question. What Councilman Luciano and Councilwoman Simon are, with this resolution that's being proposed, is saying that they brought an action essentially in their capacities as council members for purposes of resolving a government-related issue, of which they, as it stands right now, were at least partially successful on with regard to the issues that they've raised. As a result of that, in saying that we brought issues regarding government functions, and we were correct that we should have our legal bills covered based off of that. I reviewed the ordinance. I don't see anything that prohibits, there's nothing in your ordinance that prohibits you from doing it. I don't see anything that requires you to do it. Your ordinance discusses defense, not prosecution of cases. There's nothing that prohibits it, though. So if the governing body thinks that wants to do it, there's nothing that stops you from doing it.
May I?
To be clear, we're gonna protect Tim Katrubis, who lied to the court, and we have to go to court to
You
prove
are harassing
that you
us.
violated.
Remember that. You
that
are harassing us.
violated-
And
that
it's
you
not a good
violated-
environment
you
to work.
violated a court
Not
order,
violating
and we
no
were found
court
to
order.
be, that our lawsuit
Oh,
was correct.
sure.
And David last month said, I would do this for you too, Glenn.
And
Right?
Melanie.
Oh, yeah, if this came up, we're in.
Well, it's a hardship for us.
Wrong, so vote, you wanna protect Kranjak, you wanna protect Katrubis,
We're
but
protecting
I
all
can
of us.
understand it, so.
Did you,
It's fine.
this was your choice to bring this forward? So,
So
You know what?
let's
This
say-
was your
let's go
choice.
short. You don't wanna know why? Because they violated
A
a
court
court
order.
order, and the court said they
They
violated it.
and they
Oh,
were
oh,
So when that happens, listen, Tim lied to the court. He was found, even though we might think it's excessive, he was found guilty. The mayor was found to have perjured himself, and it looks like you wanna defend him. Their bill was $73 or $70,000 plus dollars, right? You had no problem. Our bill, which proved that you violated a court order, was $7,700.
Just-
And you're gonna sit there and say, oh no, I don't think I could do it.
You
can
don't
motion to
deserve
table.
a penny, a penny.
Yeah,
A
that's
penny,
all right.
you
We're
sold
gonna get
it,
it. Well,
your
we'll
kids,
get it
you
one
are
way.
penny,
You're gonna
zero.
pay it.
the motion,
Zero.
motion to table stands, motion to table.
That's okay,
Okay, roll call
but
please.
that's what
I don't
makes
have a
the
second.
hypocrite you are.
I don't have a
Well,
second.
who's the second on the
Zero.
table?
No, I want, let's vote and get it
I
off,
need a
no
second.
penny.
You gotta second the
Yes,
table.
you need a second.
Table.
I need a
No, I
second.
wanna vote and.
But you
Wow,
need a
but it
second
needs
to
to
But you
say
need a
vote.
second to go
I
to
know
the.
it's
Stop
late.
screaming.
It's not, as we know it's late, it's hard to understand. You need a second before you.
Okay, everybody
So
calm
everybody-
down,
Wait, second,
please.
for, you guys made the motion. No,
He made a
right,
motion to
guys, Rivka does not want a table, so there's no second to table. She wants to vote on the resolution. She wants to vote on the resolution, so there's,
You brought this forward, you pay for it.
Exactly.
Period.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Well, Tim brought it forward knowingly
right,
lying,
and you
and
paid
that's
for it.
okay.
No,
And you-
Tim did not
And you
Oh,
paid
yes,
for
you
it.
sue
Okay.
nobody,
Okay.
he got sued, this is the difference.
No, he
Okay.
got
He
sued.
He got fined because he lied to the court.
Hey,
Please stop it. Let's move on,
Okay,
please.
let's
We'll
move on.
find out.
Let's move on, please. Stop it.
Okay, call,
Please.
call the question.
Okay,
So-
let's move on.
No, you have to vote.
right, we're gonna vote.
Oh, this, all right, I'm confused now. The motion to table fails.
Forget it.
There was no motion.
So there's no motion.
No
So now I
motion.
need a
There
motion.
was no second.
Yes.
So now are you making a motion to vote, right?
Right, they've already done it.
Okay,
Right.
and who seconded it?
Now
All
the
right.
discussion, you have discussion.
Okay.
Now it's all the vote.
All right,
Let's
good.
show the true
I'm so
hypocrisy.
tired. And Simon. All right, remember Kim?
School, Melanie and Glenn.
Remember Kim?
I abstain.
Remember Simon? Remember Simon?
Remember Simon?
Vote this time. First time I recused myself, because I thought that was the fair thing. But now, I'm going to vote that you should pay us.
Sure,
Yes.
running.
Okay. Member Luciano? Member Di Gregorio?
No.
Member Begats?
No,
Member Liang?
Okay, and item 15, old and new business, we don't have
I
any
have
old and
I
new.
have something I'd like to introduce. By the way, good morning. Based upon, I guess Andrew is the deputy chief.
Yep.
And what he told us regarding the ladder truck being available at the earliest 2029. And it's a safety issue for the town. I'm going to introduce to go forward with the ladder truck.
I second it. And to be clear, I believe your motion is to start the process in obtaining a new ladder truck, which is gonna be another 5 years down the line. And, I think it's.
How much is it, the cost?
Doesn't
2
matter.
million.
I don't know what it'll be,
Or
but
whatever the process is.
We have to figure out the 2.2 million?
Yeah, so that's what we wanna start the process and approve them moving forward with a ladder truck that is.
Then, we have to
Outdated.
issue another bond, right?
Oh, well, I'll let, your company gonna help pay for it? It's like $2.8 million. I heard I heard that 800 was gonna pay for it.
Well, maybe.
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 We don't have to worry about it, but I think
Well,
the only thing you need
right
to do right now is to start a down payment on a.
you can go out to bond anyway.
Or you can
Doesn't
show,
matter,
you
it's
can
still
show the
payment.
fire company that, you know what, their safety isn't the, of high importance. That their safety isn't that high of an importance. to
Very
you.
important, very.
Remember Kim?
Well, there's a,
Abstain.
you probably should recuse.
I
I'm not a lawyer.
need to ask.
Yes.
Well, your son's on why, I'll tell you, you don't need his opinion.
My
Look
son.
at David right
Your
now.
son,
He'll tell you
why
one
don't
thing.
But let me just, hold on, I already.
Are we taking the roll call?
We're trying.
No, he's gonna
Mr.
ask
Liang has a question
to
of
Matt
attorney.
about his,
waiting-
yeah, okay, just
we're
hold
waiting
on,
for the-
okay? Just hold on.
Member Kim?
Waiting for the borough attorney.
I think, okay.
You could show the fire department how much you appreciate them.
Nothing to do with showing them, they know it.
And your son's gonna be climbing the ladder.
Very much. Sure, bring up more stuff.
What do you want?
No,
Give me
I
a
have
list.
nothing else.
Give me a
Oh
list,
my
I'll bring
God.
it up if you want. What do you want me to bring up?
Please, give me a
I'll
break,
gladly bring it
people.
up.
Yeah, please. Making
Matt,
homework,
there's
leave it to
an
the last
issue.
moment.
Of whether
Well, what do you want me to do
Leanne
at the beginning, so we
can
can fight
vote.
all night?
The fire department things, the truck, fire department truck. So my son is volunteer in the department. And, the first mayor council meeting, you know, the councilman Glenn mentioned, I have conflict interest. So now, we will go through the voting process right now.
I don't think
Am I able to vote?
Well, you know everything, sir.
Absolutely.
No,
Must be true.
His son is just a volunteer. How come?
Your son's a volunteer firefighter.
Yes.
Actually,
the-
he's a student, he's going to the school, right?
Doesn't matter.
Then vote, then let him vote, who cares?
I'm trying to, so
David
So
said you
generally-
can't, just go by what David said.
So generally, conflict of interest, you first deal with issues about whether or not there's a pecuniary benefit to yourself or a family member or business. So if it's you know, somebody's being, you know, paid, things like that. That's not this situation, but there's also a more general one about conflict of interest and whether or not you're gonna be being able to be swayed by the fact that you have a family member that's there. There are cases in zoning and planning board cases where like a church might come in front of a planning board and you're a member of the church and they say you have a conflict of interest. That's kind of similar to this, except that this is not a land use proceeding. So, you know, I mean, my recommendation, I think off the top of my head, right now, the motion is, the motion is for what? Just to
start
begin
the
a
process.
They
to
need a
begin
down
a
payment
process
so
of,
they can start the process, find out how much it's gonna cost right now, get a contract,
It's
figure out what the
response-
down payment is. It's not gonna, we're not gonna have to bond for it until, you know, it goes by percentage of completion.
None of us will
So,
be on the council by the
But
time
they
this is
need, if
completed.
they're telling us that the truck isn't gonna be available until
29.
29, 2030, that truck by then is then gonna be 26 years old. Your son's gonna be climbing on it. It can't be certified. Folks, I just think that it's irresponsible of us not for them to be getting the equipment that they need.
has the vote already started?
Yeah, well, Chris had voted yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, it did,
But
but then
it's
they're
not a
waiting for
very
a
good look
conflict,
for
I
you.
don't
Right,
know.
right.
Your son is on the fire department.
Well,
And
Councilman
you
Liang
don't
did,
know for a riot
My
truck.
position is another topic, legal,
well,
this is another topic.
I believe there was a prior vote on something to do with the fire department, and during that vote, Councilman Liang did recuse
Yeah.
himself. from that.
Yeah, so,
Well, he don't
you
have
know,
anymore.
so listen, these conflict of interest issues can be very tough, and which is why I'm always hesitant on the spot to give advice one way or the other, because I don't want to be wrong and have somebody get, you know, accused of a ethics violation. I think on this, it comes down to, Councilman, whether you feel comfortable, whether you can make a fair or unbiased decision. If you feel that you can, then you can vote. If you don't believe you can, you know, then you recuse yourself. This vote-
That advice I
this vote-
cannot accept about you. How come professional, you should give a clear answer. Well, how come, you just say that about it? I think you are professional. You have to give a clear answer.
Yeah, so-
How come he can just based on his conscious or his own decision? And I don't accept about it.
Because-
This one, you should give it to even though this one delay. The table it, and then you get the answer, and then next month we can do that.
Discussion. How come that doesn't happen?
Right. Well, the answer, Mayor, is because if issues of conflict of interest, ultimately it's a personal question. So there's certain items that somebody might say that, you are based off of a relationship with somebody. There could be as an example, you could have a friend walk in the door. They don't live within 200 feet of you. There's not a legal conflict, but hey, they're your best friend and you're not gonna be able to vote on that matter. That's a personal decision. I can't say to somebody that it's legally required because you're that good of a friend. That's the situation here. I think in this particular instance, however, it's really a mountain out of a molehill, because if the councilman decides he wants to vote and he's comfortable with it, there's no definitive conflict that he'd be violating. As long as he's comfortable with that, he can vote on it. There's no expenditure of money, which is what cuts both ways here. I mean, it makes it, less of a conflict, because at the end of the day, if he votes on it, he's not voting to expend or not spend money. And if he decides not to vote for it, if the process moves forward, all we're doing is saying, look at information, still has to come back in front of the council for anything further. So this is not a situation where there's money being involved, that there is, so.
Oh, did we start the vote yet or not?
Member
So
Payne
I'd like to
voted
just make
yes.
a quick comment. I recently,
We're starting to vote. I don't understand
All
how
right.
we're in the middle of discussion.
Okay, so-
All there was an opinion.
so I'll make my comment when I vote. All right, I'll do that, okay? I'll make my comment when, are we doing the roll?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the way it
Member
works.
Simon,
Yes,
member Luciano,
Aye.
member Di Gregorio,
A quick comment. Recently, a firefighter came up to me and mentioned the ladder truck and basically intimated that I better not have a fire in my house. I don't like that. That attitude stinks.
What does that have to do with your vote?
I'm just making a comment about the attitude of the fire department as such, or at least this individual member of the fire department. And I'm telling you, that attitude, I can be very easily sold on this fire truck.
You don't want them to
I could be very easily sold on this fire truck. I need to be convinced. Meantime, we have a fire department just south of here that has a ladder truck, brand new. We have Tenafly, brand new, and we have Englewood, brand new. And this ladder truck can be repaired. And if this fire department comes here and presents it and sells it to us, I'm perfectly open, but I'm going to tell you, if I get comments as a council person who has decided to caucus with people that care about this town, and then get a threat that my house better not go on fire, that says something, that's a representative of the fire department that intimated that to me. And that is not right at all. It shows that someone on the fire department has some other agenda in this town. So I leave it at that.
They're probably saying they wouldn't have a ladder truck to come help you put out your house on fire. That's what they probably meant.
So thank you. I'm going to vote, I'm not going to vote no. I'm going to abstain on this one.
Yeah, it's good.
member Begets,
Abstain.
member Liang.
That's good. So it passed.
I'd like to bring up the resolution. Make a resolution. I would like to bring up the issue of 24-128. After some thought, I want to support that resolution.
What is 124?
Hold on, let me just check.
What is that one? I'm sorry.
That's hiring Mark Sango as a full-time employee. That full-time employee does not occur until next year, right?
But you can't reschedule. It's already, I mean.
How many votes, Matt?
Yeah,
did we-
that was tabled.
Matt,
Table.
How many votes did we have on the last one?
Right, can't I make a motion to bring it up
and
again?
3 yeses and 3 abstentions, David.
We need 4 to pass.
No,
Which one are we
it's not
talking
an
about?
ordinance. It's just going out.
Majority of those voting. It's basically
Full-time this-
three people voted and it was yes.
Okay, what about
The
Ms.
majority of
King's
those
inquiry?
voted.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. So let's see,
Make
if
a
I
motion
change
to
my
adjourn.
vote, what's going to happen?
Oh, then you have
Three
to
to
go.
one. It still passes, 3 to
You
1.
don't want a second? You don't want a second? You guys can all stay.
128
They
was
motion to adjourn 3 times.
Second.
What is the,
There's a motion and a second on the floor to adjourn.
Chris, what was your,
You did.
motion, resolution?
Yeah, to bring up the resolution 24,
Motion
128,
and a second
To
on the
pass
floor.
it?
to pass it, yes.
Okay, I would support that.
Well, too bad, there's
Well,
already a
they
motion and a second on the floor to
No,
adjourn.
who adjourned?
To adjourn in a
Okay,
second.
we did a motion and a second.
There was no vote on the adjournment. Look, we sat here and we heard your motions and voted on your resolutions.
Next month.
But then
All
they
right.
should do what they need to do.
Okay, so you want to revote this one? We can do that.
Yes, Mayor. 24, 128.
I'm sorry,
Table, but you want to.
I'm missing, I don't know what we're asking.
So if it's 24-128, there was a
That
motion
was
to table.
Tabled.
And
Okay,
Table
so
pass.
now the councilman wants to take it off the table
Okay,
for voting.
I'll
So the
second.
first-
Before that, with a second, there was a motion and a second to
And,
adjourn.
Okay, so, I got you, alright, so, there's been a motion and second to adjourn.
Right.
We'd have to either vote in favor or oppose or table
Oh, there you go, thank you.
the motion to adjourn.
I'm gonna kick you butt every time.
If it's voted yes, then the meeting's over. If you vote to table the motion or vote no on the motion, then we can entertain Councilman Kim's motion
If he gets
to
a
take
second.
it off the table, in which case we would then vote on the motion.
Of course he's-
Okay.
Okay.
So, right now, it's a
Motion
motion.
to table the adjournment.
Okay, there you go.
Second,
Okay, so there'll be a roll call vote on the motion to
Give
table the
me
adjournment.
One moment, second. Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
No,
Member Luciano?
No,
Member Di Gregorio?
yes.
Member Begats?
No.
Member Liang?
I'm sorry, say it again, can you explain it again?
Motion to table the
versus
adjournment.
the adjournment. Which we've had many meetings where they didn't even do that, but God,
It's kind of
motion
late.
to table.
It's kind of late.
Yeah.
I mean, we only have until May of 2025 to decide this issue, or the next month, but right now.
Yes, but at the same time,
That's
we
why.
don't know if Mark Sango will make himself available.
Adjournment.
Matt, you should chime in on that.
I don't know, Councilman, you've been talking.
Well, cut me off, Dan, what the heck's the matter?
On table.
So
It's up to you.
if you vote, if you vote no to table,
No,
then it'd be a,
we did already.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay,
So
now,
that's
now
four.
you have to call
That's-
the vote for the
that's
adjournment.
4. Motion to adjourn by,
so moved.
okay.
Yeah, it was already moved, yeah.
Like
Kim,
that friend.
Member Kim?
Yes, I guess so.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
To adjourn? No.
Go sleep here.
Member Begats?
Yes.
Member Liang?
Yes.
I make a motion to have a special meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning. Jerry can leave the meeting.
Oh, no way.
Matt, you can just stay here until
I was
tomorrow.
gonna sleep,
Jerry,
Jerry.
my rate's double after midnight though, so I'll sleep on it.
thank you. Are you gonna make it home okay?